Hello everyone. Hope you all are having a wonderful Saturday. Yeah, today is Saturday. 28th of October, Saturday, 2023. I'm going to pour myself a glass of water before we start real quick. Victor is making pancakes in chat, so I really want to have a taste of those pancakes. Un día me tienes que invitar a tortitas, Victor. Anyway. Whoosh, you will now have a happy day. I hope everyone's been relaxing and trying to get some rest today. Sí, lo tenemos segurísimo. Alright. So, last time... I'm sorry, it's like the soundtrack is like going, it's like so hype. Toho music is like so fucking good. So last time we were done with the investigation, well, most of the investigation. It was getting quite late, so I had to cut a stream. But today we're back, we're probably going to finish investigation, and we're going to jump onto the second day of the trial. Now, this is becoming like a very big conspiracy. Like the whole thing is just fucking insane, so let me just quickly jump into the game here. And now we switch to the game. There we go, perfect. I didn't forget to do the thingy. Alright. My neck kind of hurts from playing this game. But it's because since I switched to a controller, I am more still. Well, I should really be moving my neck more just to make sure that it doesn't go stiff. Alright, I have also been messing with the microphone because my Iris voice is too high pitched for the settings of my OBS to recognize. So some of the words might be cut out while I speak in Iris voice, so I'm sorry about that. It has only taken me 29 streams to get this right. And now I realize that I'm doing this wrong. This is not stream number 29, this is stream number 30. 30 whole streams of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. He perdido. Primero Damián, tú ayer. Y ahora tú. Dios mío. But yeah, it's been 30 streams, 30 directos since we started playing this game. We are still not done. We only have 2 more trials to go through. Are we all ready? Then let's jump right in. So last time, Iris was about to confess. Yo fui quien hizo que perdiera. Mierda. Ay, fuiste tú 2 veces. It was you twice who made Damian lose the game yesterday, huh? So yesterday, we found Tusato's father just knocked out, and Iris was hiding a particular document from Miss Gory about the autopsy report of one Genshin... No, it wasn't Genshin at all, it was Clint Van Six, the one who was autopsy reported by the corner of the time, Teeth, and the first assistant, I think it was first assistant, was Iris' father, Dr. John H. Wilson, your daddy. Would you like to tell us about it, Iris? About your father?
I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Harley's partner. Yes, and that notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest. That's right. Harley told me, you see. He said that Daddy is somewhere far away now, so we can't meet.
Oh, that sprite is like hitting my heart. That is one way of describing it.
Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build a picture. I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like.
Well, that's only natural.
You're just like any other girl of your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too.
Well, that's only natural, I suppose.
In respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name.
Ah,
His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he had made about his work with Hurley. But then one day...
that's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out. Is that right?
Yes!
So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. The autopsy report.
When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself.
Because it was the same as the writing you had seen on your father's case notes. Okay, well, I'm just here to say hi and leave because I haven't watched the last episode yet. Te puedo hacer un resumen, si quieres. Muy rapidito. Te puedo hacer un resumen. Bueno, vale. Chat, I'm just going to do a little... resumen en inglés, no me acuerdo. A little up-to-dating with my friend Blue Parrot here. Ok. Básicamente, ayer estuvimos investigando. Fuimos con Van Six. Y Van Six cree que Gregson formaba parte de una organización que llevaba a cabo los asesinatos del Reaper, básicamente, del Reaper of the Bailey. Pensaba que Gregson estaba implicado en ello. Y Gregson aparentemente compartía notas, hablaba mucho con una asesina en particular llamada Assassin, también conocida como The Sailbread, la señora del cisne. Not our boy. Así que Gregson no mataba a nadie, él solamente coordinaba los ataques, parece ser. Ahora, volviendo al señor Vigil, el señor Vigil afirma que él no ayudó a escapar a Genshin Asogi, porque supuestamente Genshin escapó usando el truco de que nadie revisaba los ataúdes. Vigil afirma no haber ayudado, pero el jefe de la prisión afirma que sí, que es culpa suya. Entonces estamos dudando también del jefe ahora mismo. Y bueno, y por encima de todo eso, la hija de Sith, Gori, la chavala de la máscara de cuervo, nos contó que su madre sí que puede ser que ayudara en la escapada de Genshin. Y lo más probable es que Genshin... Bueno, y también nos contó Vigil que Genshin había escrito una especie de testamento, pero el testamento desapareció de repente. Según Vigil, el testamento desapareció, pero según el jefe de la prisión, el testamento no desapareció y está aquí. Y es simplemente un tipo, le dejo todo a mi hijo y me da pena no volver, no poder haber, no volver a ver mi hogar y todo eso. ¿Qué pasa? Según Vigil, este testamento era su última arma, porque Genshin Asogi lo describió como su último arma. Entonces hay como una puta conspiración enorme y estoy 100% seguro de que estos no son papeles de verdad. Estoy 100% seguro que aquí o hay un código o son falsificados. Uno de dos. Aparentemente Gregson sí iba a ir a Francia el día de su muerte. Ok. Sí, es que fue mucho. Pasaron muchas cosas ayer. ¿Y qué más? ¿Qué más? Kazuma cree que el jefe de la organización de los asesinos de Reaper es Van Six y quiere declararle culpable por ello, pero nosotros creemos que es otra persona, obviamente. Y finalmente, cuando fuimos a buscar la autopsia de Clint Van Six, del hermano de Van Six, porque resulta que nos contó Van Six que después de la muerte de Clint, a Van Six le atacaron unos delincuentes de Londres Y Genshin aparentemente le salvó la vida, le paró un disparo de bala y todo. Y 2 días después fue encarcelado y declarado culpable. Un puto lío. O sea, Van Six tiene sentimientos muy contradictorios ahora mismo. Bueno, fuimos a buscar la autopsia de Clint, pero había desaparecido. Tipo, la autopsia había desaparecido por completo. Y entonces Iris dijo, ay, pero tengo que volver a casa rápidamente. Y cuando volvimos a casa, estaba el padre de Susato noqueado encima del sofá. Porque resulta que dentro del cofre del centro de la habitación había como uno de estos guantes de boxeo que salen hacia afuera. Que era como una antitrampa para que cualquiera que abriera el cofre no pudiera ver lo que hay dentro. Básicamente. Y resulta que Iris, hace 2 años, reconoció la letra de su padre en esos papeles y lo robó. Porque nunca había oído hablar del nombre de su padre, tipo, no sabía el nombre de su padre, aparentemente. Y lo robó para por fin saber cuál era el nombre de su padre. Porque resulta que su padre estuvo en la autopsia de Clint Van Six. Junto a la doctora Sith y el padre de Susato. Un puto lío. Una conspiración gigantesca. Y ahí es donde nos quedamos ayer. Ya estamos hablando con Iris. Okay, we're done with the resume. Let's go back to English, because this has been a while. Because it was the same as the writing you had seen in your father's case notes. This game is insane, I know. It's like the DL6 conspiracy from the first game, but expanded to like two whole games.
Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that was the first and the last time we would be allowed to look at it either. We would be allowed even to look at it there.
Ah, sí, y resulta que el que dijo que no quería un tiempo de muerte para Gregson era Strongheart. Dijo, no hace falta, es muy obvio. O sea, muy sus, por su parte. So you decided to steal it.
When I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report.
Read, Dr. John H. Wilson. Ya. Welcome in. Le estaba explicando lo que hicimos ayer a Blue Parrot para que pueda estar al día con nosotros. Y su respuesta es que este juego es una puta locura, y estoy de acuerdo. Estoy de acuerdo en general. This game is fucking insane. The plotline is like all over the place, but in a good way.
Oh, that is how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last.
I see.
Ever since then, I have called myself Iris Wilson.
Oh. Hold up, I need to like do something real quick. Real quick, hold up. Real quick. Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
And that is also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Harley. I decided there and then that I would write The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, Iris, I have no idea the stories have quite such a deep personal significance for you.
I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it. I must apologize, Iris. I'm guessing this is... yeah, Sean's. This is really all my fault. Sholmes acting like a proper adult? For once?
Harley?
I made a promise, you see. That until the time was right, I would keep the details about your father a secret.
I know. I've been very naughty. I'll take the autopsy report back to Dr. Gori and apologize. I promise.
Yes, we'll go together, I think.
Then let me look after it for you until we get there.
Clint's autopsy report has been entered into the court record. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, hold up. How many rows of evidence we have now? We have like 3 rows of evidence. Coroner, John H. Wilson. Victim. Name, Clint Van Six, male. Age, 33. Nationality, British. Time of death, 31st of May, between 9 p.m. and midnight. Observations. Death from a single stab wound to the heart. Hold up. Pancake hechos. Bien. Hold up. Didn't the professor... Yes, sí, tú sigue granjeando. Didn't the professor kill by using a hellhound to the throat? Víctor está preparando la granja para cuando vuelva a la actualización. Os está dejándola muy limpia. I want to do something real quick. Hold up. Hala. Beep. Additional notes. Recent scarlet ink stains visible on the little and ring fingers of the right hand, but no document in corresponding ink was found. Scarlet ink stains. The little and ring fingers of the right hand. Autopsy findings. Vital evidence recovered from the victim's stomach during autopsy. Great to Inspector Gregson for petitioning so doggedly for the autopsy procedure. No internal trauma noted anywhere in the body. Hey, the Tharka, I hope you're doing great. Welcome in, Click. I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday evening. We're just about almost finishing up the investigation for this part of the story, and we're about to jump into the trial properly. Okay, but like, can someone confirm me, like, the professor killed using a dog. So why did Clint die via stab wound?
I must go and water my herbs, I think. I will see you all later.
Oh, I am marking tests, so I'm not off. Good luck with those. Oh, she's about to cry, poor girl. Poor Iris, she must be feeling awful. I know Mr. Sholmes is here for her, but still.
Ah!
Susato?
What? How? What is the meaning of this, Mr. Sholmes?
Mr. Sholmes? Oh dear me. So, you've noticed, I see.
But that would mean...
What on earth is the matter, Miss Susato? You've turned as white as shit.
It's this autopsy report, Mr. Naruhodo. The one from 10 years ago.
The
writing isn't Dr. Wilson's at all.
What? What? I mean, there is the signature there, but the rest of the writing isn't like this standard like text that they use. Huh? What do you mean? How could you possibly know that? Yeah, like... But Iris recognized it, so...
Because I know this writing very well. This writing... It's my father's!
What the fuck is this game? What? Professor Mikotobas? I mean, we were told that he was like the second guy who was like there with the corner at the time. But like... Jesus fucking Christ. Indeed, it's true. And now you know, my dear fellows. No, I don't know anything. I knew that I was suspicious from the start, but this is still insane. Yeah, remember when I said, oh, this guy is actually the killer of the first case? It went deeper than that. What on earth does all of this mean, Mr. Sholmes? Because the idea that's slowly forming in my mind, it's just too extraordinary to believe. Please, you have to explain. The autopsy report writing. So, this autopsy report was actually penned by Professor Migotova then. But that makes no sense. It's not possible, surely. Not possible? My dear fellow. Pray take a deep breath and think again.
Yes, you're right. In some ways, it actually makes a great deal of sense.
It does?
10 years ago is when Father returned to Japan after his extended study tour in Britain.
And prior to his return, where was Dr. Migotova engaged? Ah, of course, he was an assistant in Dr. Wilson's laboratory, learning about forensic science. And as an assistant, he would have aided with the dissection work, making detailed notes, which would be assembled into the full autopsy report. Once the work was complete, the head coroner would check the contents and put his signature on the document.
In other words, the only writing of Dr. Wilson's in the report would be his signature at the end.
Ah, I see. So Iris got the wrong end of the stick, you mean? She saw that, and assumed the whole report had been written by Dr. John H. Wilson.
Which is very understandable, of course.
What a complicated situation. Yeah, the details of the autopsy report have been updated. Your partner. Thinking about it, most of what we know about you, Mr. Sholmes, comes from the published stories of your exploits.
Yes, The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, written by Iris.
Yeah, like the actual... Yeah, it makes sense. Like, the actual Sean's background is completely shrouded in mystery because we take for granted the stories about him, and he plays the character up. Like, he's obviously hiding something as well. And we really have no way of knowing what's fact and what's fiction. Most troubling for you, my dear fellow, I'm sure. But what about this supposed partner of yours? Did he really exist or not? Ah, you've come straight to the point, I see.
And please, come straight to the answer.
I believe Iris explained it in one of her installments. He was a trusted comrade, and the only person I could truly have called a friend.
And did this partner of yours truly make a record of all your cases? Are his notes really stored inside that metal chest?
Absolutely, my dear madam. Absolutely. So, where is your partner now? We rarely meet. You see, he lives on the other side of the world. But this autopsy report and the records of all your old cases were penned by the same hand? And if the autopsy report was written, though not signed, by your famous partner... My brother in fucking Christ, no fucking way. No fucking way. There would be only one logical conclusion. Pray, impress me. Your partner would have to be Eugene Mikotova. The fucking mustache, the fucking bob... Oh. Hold up. El gorro, the bob thing. Holy fucking shit. In other words, Miss Susato's father. On my word, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? You are coming along wonderfully. You have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction. You mean to say... Allow me to introduce you. To my great friend and partner, Mikotoba. I'm killing myself and taking this game with me. Same. What the fuck? What the fuck? Professor Mikotoba. Jones. And is Iris still in the room? No. No, she's not. She went to tend her plants. Aún falta la mejor parte. ¿Cómo que la mejor parte? What is the best part about this?
Does this mean that you're the real Dr. Wilson?
No, my dear. I'm still my old self, Mikotoba. Your father.
Oh, of course.
This is obviously too much for Susato-san to take in. And me, I am flipping the fuck out. Oh, well, I need to drink some water to cool myself down. Oh, this is exhilarating. This is fucking amazing. Oh my god. Cinema. This game is fucking cinema. Cinema. I can't even speak properly anymore. I must say though, how my old friend has attained worldwide celebrity as a great mystery solver is the greatest mystery of all. I still remember the first time we met. Oh, pray remind me. When was it again, Mikoto? 16 years ago, Shons. Ah, yes, quite. 16 years ago.
Look at them. Look at them.
I had just arrived from Japan with Shishiro and Genshin. I was in search of lodgings close to the hospital. Some comfortable rooms at a reasonable price.
Them.
But rents are devilish high in that particular area.
Okay, so you know how before it's when we start every new case, there's like a little introduction with Sean speaking, and it's like him drawn in. And then there's like his partner with the bob hat. He was right there all along. We just didn't... it was like so obvious to us because we were like, oh, of course, this is Watson, obviously. Like, this is their version. We didn't suspect it was fucking Mikotoba. Oh my god.
But the rents are devilishly high in that particular area. That's right. So I decided I needed someone to share lodgings and the expense. And was fortunate enough to be introduced to Shons, who found himself in a similar situation. I was a callow fellow back then, a mere shadow of the great detective you see before you now. I was working at the hospital's chemical laboratory at the time, indulging my curiosities for little gain. And the situation of our cohabitation led to us pursuing cases together, you see. Hard to believe, it was a mere 6 years. We had a great many adventures. But in the last year of Mikotoba's stay in Britain, that most infamous of cases presented itself. The case with which you've become rather familiar yourselves. The professor killings. After the trial, Ishiro and I were summoned back home.
Hardly surprising, given the circumstances.
So, there you have it. And as you know, all the details recorded by my trusty chronicler remain in that metal chest.
This is just amazing. Professor Mikotoba really is Mr. Sean's famous partner. Susato is like processing that her hero, like the stories of her hero, was like a friend of his father all along, of her father all along. Father.
Goodness, my dear, what a cutting look.
As your daughter, I'm very proud to learn that you were the great detective's great partner. But nevertheless, there is another mystery that I really must ask you to explain now.
And that is?
You know very well what it is. The unresolved matter of Iris' father.
Ah, of course, I had almost forgotten about that one. I should have seen this coming, I suppose.
Iris' father. Iris told us that all of the notes about the great detective's adventures that are in that metal chest were written by her father.
Welcome in, CPC Gamer. Hope you're having a nice and wonderful Saturday evening. I would also be flipping the fuck out if I maybe had a sister in fucking Britain. Yeah. Same. Also probably stepsister. Or like you know what I mean. Like half-sister. Not stepsister, that was my bad. Alright. Let's get back to it. Sorry.
Isn't that correct, Mr. Shams?
That is indeed what I told young Iris. Yeah, Iris was told by Shams that that his father was her partner. Her father was his partner, and then she read the reports and thought that Yuji Mikotoba's writing was her father's. And then she read the autopsy report, read the name, and thought that she was the daughter of Dr. John H. Wilson. Was the real Wilson a cunt? We need to find that out. Yeah.
But if you're Mr. Shams' partner, father, and you wrote all those case notes, then Iris' father must be you.
On my word, Miss Susato. You're coming along wonderfully as well. You too have hit upon the method at last. You finally grasped the art of deduction. No! No, Charles! No! What?
What you've always told me, father. That my mother died when I was born 16 years ago. And you left me in grandmother's care whilst you embarked on your study tour of Britain. And I've always accepted that. But all this about Iris.
Oh, there it is. Susato-san's ice cold stare. Well, are they actual sisters? Why did no one notice that Iris is Japanese then? No, now hold on a minute. It was very complicated. I mean, it's really not what you think. We cut off a stream yesterday at the perfect point for all of this to rain upon us right now.
Then perhaps you would like to explain exactly what it is.
There it is. Now the ice goes from ice cold to red hot. Just before she... That's why I think that maybe they let Iris run with the mistake. No, really. You've got the wrong end of the stick. Sean, say something, man. That's quite enough, my fiery fellows. Mr. Shams? When did he get all dressed up? Whilst I don't like to interrupt this exciting exploration of the past, Mikoto and I have an urgent matter that requires a short excursion.
But it's very late, Mr. Shams. Where must you go?
Why, my dear madam, it's not obvious. My partner and I must pursue our natural enemies. So, get your coat, Mikotoba. The game is afoot. But Shams, I really must get Susato a full explanation, I think. Later, my dear fellow, later. Our carriage awaits downstairs already. Shams, I swear to fucking God. Don't you dare do this to me. You haven't changed one iota, have you? I mean, really. I visit our home after 10 long years. When I opened that chest in a fit of nostalgia, I quite inexplicably passed out. If Mikotoba gets killed in whatever adventure this is... No. The murder victim is Gregson. The only possibility is that he dies in the final case. And as if that wasn't enough, I eventually regain consciousness. I'm plunged straight into all this.
Father, please. Go with Mr. Shams now.
What?
I have no doubt that whatever happened, you were acting in everyone's best interest. I trust you, completely.
Susato.
And sending the great detective and his great partner off on renewed adventures together. It's more than I could have hoped for in my wildest dreams.
Very well then. We'll speak again later. So, I believe your own work is done for the day. I wish you the best of luck for tomorrow. Yes, Naruhodo. Good luck in battle. And in reaching a decision. Bro, looking at, like, the two of them looking at me is like too much fucking pressure that I didn't expect from either of them, because... But like, when they're together, it's like... They are the legendary group. They are Sholmes and Watson. A decision? About whether to go back to Japan, I suppose.
So much happened that day that I barely knew what to do with myself.
Yeah, same.
It would only be later that I'd come to realize how amidst the chaos I'd unleashed were all the clues I needed to finally unearth the truth. And that all the turmoil was necessary to give me the resolve to see everything through.
End. What do you mean end? This is to be continued, right? ¿Cómo que el fin del episodio 4? ¿End of episode 4? Final. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Bro, what the fuck is this game? What the fuck? I am I am taking my own life with me as well. Blue Parrot. Oh. No. We still... Aún tenemos que hacer el juicio. We are still not done with the trial. Final chapter. Ahora el juicio es algo diferente. Final chapter. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. A double trial. Oh my god. I have no fucking clue. I had no idea that this was happening. But let's jump right into it. Final chapter. The resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Third of November, 9:14 AM. The Old Bailey. Defendant's antechamber. Ooh, the remix of the previous of the before the trial. So the time has finally come. Today, we unravel everything. I will be counting on your support more than ever today, Miss Susato. Miss Susato? No! There it is! The Susato takedown.
Oh no, what's the matter, Mr. Naruhodo?
Nothing? I was just saying that I will be relying on your support today, but...
I'm so sorry, of course. I know I can be rather incompetent at times, but... I shan't let you down.
Would you mind helping me to my feet then?
Oh dear, I'm really very sorry.
Bro, I am typing. I need to take my coat off because I am sweating. Holy shit. Nah. My favorite Ace Attorney game. I'm already saying it. My favorite Ace Attorney game of all time. This one. 100%. Susato-san isn't her usual self at all. But that's hardly surprising, I suppose. She's just found out that her father is the partner of a world-famous detective. Not to mention...
Good morning, sir.
my boyfriend. Lord Van Six?
Thank you for all your efforts yesterday.
Well, did I hear that correctly?
What?
Oh, no, nothing. I hope we can clear things up today. I really can't make this man out. I can. His face says, I hate you, but his words are almost jovial today. In fact, he hasn't been very Reaper-like at all since this all began yesterday.
Lord Van Six isn't the Reaper, Mr. Naruhodo.
Good point.
The Reaper? I suppose in hindsight, I shouldn't have allowed that misconception to go unchallenged.
Huh?
It was my tacit acceptance of that pseudonym. My failure to stop the Reaper becoming something more than a mere legend that led to all this.
But you're not to blame for that, Lord Van Six.
It's only because serious crime in the capital dropped off so sharply when the public started calling you that. That's why you didn't say anything, isn't it?
To be frank, I'm not sure that was the sole reason.
What do you mean?
There was a rumor at the time that the Reaper was really the ghost of my late brother. That having been slain by that evil killer, Lynn's restless spirit returned as some sort of demigod. To wield a deadly blade of justice where I, by dint of the law, could not.
Yes, we've heard that story too.
When I lost him, I felt as though I had lost my guiding light. I didn't know where to go or what to do. And so, some small way, I wonder if perhaps those rumors made me feel his absence a little less keenly. Even if I knew it was just an illusion. Just some nonsense conjured up by an over-imaginative public.
He was so obviously extremely important to you. Lord Clint Van Six.
Well, what is important now is uncovering the truth. That is all that matters. I know that you didn't take anyone's life. And I intend to prove that beyond a shadow of a doubt, for today.
I never thought I would say this, but I can see it in your eyes. That burning desire to cut through all the lies and deception. I can't deny it any longer.
Sebas, thank you for the follow. Welcome in, my friend.
You are a lawyer of absolute integrity.
Thank you.
Now tell me, why do I detect the scent of expensive tea leaves in the air?
Oh, Iris, when did you get here? Nunca me había dado tiempo a llegar a un stream. No te preocupes. Welcome in. Bienvenido, compañero. Espero que estoy en el caso final del juego. Entonces, por si te interesa lo que sea, es tu último aviso para que, por si quieres ir o lo que sea. Es el caso final de la duología. Entonces, si no te interesa, te puedes quedar, pero si te interesa, te aviso por si acaso y puedas marcharte en paz sin tragarte muchos spoilers. Agüita. Also, también hago voces muy malas para los personajes, así que lo siento mucho. En adelanto. Oh, Iris, when did you get here?
Oh. I brought you one of my special blends.
Oh, Iris.
Charlie loves it. He says it helps him to clear his head.
I thank you.
Oh,
Buena niñita. That is surely the first and last time I will ever see a sight like this. You seem different today, Iris.
Oh?
Sort of subdued, I suppose.
I'm not.
What happened yesterday is obviously still playing on her mind a lot. He's clearly very troubled about having stolen that autopsy report from Dr. Seed's laboratory.
Alright then, good luck to you both. I have to make a move now. Oh, you're not staying?
I thought you would want to watch today's proceedings.
Well, I would like to cheer you on, obviously. But I've got lots to get ready.
Get ready? For what?
Oh, yes! Will you take this?
Isn't that one of the little felt dolls that's usually dangling from your knapsack?
Yes, it's a lucky charm. A little Harley that I made once.
A Hurley? It looks more like a Hurley to me.
If for some reason you completely ran out of options in the trail today, then just put this little Harley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
Well, pull his ears.
That's right. It's a way to bring good luck. I think you might need it.
Iris's lucky charm has been... What the fuck?
You think what we will need is luck?
Okay.
What a charming little rabbity version of Mr. Sholmes.
In the inside of the plastic lady gun. a miniature gun. A lucky charm like in Ladybug. No me voy a ver Ladybug, Victor.
Do you suppose this is how Iris sees him? Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Your eyes are veritably boring into the poor doll's ears.
Oh, sorry. I was just wondering. What do you suppose would happen if I were to tug its ears with all my might right now?
I'm sure that we will find out when the time is right. To become a proper gentleman, you really must learn stoic patience.
But I want to know. Yeah, I want to know as well. Alright. No, tío, ¿qué pasa? Recuerda eso, mister. I need to remember that. Okay.
I just sneaked inside the car room. And it seemed very different to normal.
Yes, it would seem that a certain someone has decided to pull out all this stuff.
What does that mean? Lord Strongheart is prosecuting. Ooh. Or maybe he is the judge.
What about Mr. Sholmes, Iris? I don't know. He was out all night, and he hadn't come home by the night I left this morning.
Estoy empezando el último, sí. Ramón, este es el último. He empezado el último episodio. Ahora mismo. Estoy... hipeadísimo, no. Lo siguiente. O sea, Dios. 1 año y medio jugando este juego para esto.
Oh, I see.
Was Professor Mikoto out all night too, do you think, Mr. Soto?
Yes, it would seem so. I telegrammed the hotel this morning.
No. Jigoku is going to be the judge. Because he disappeared last night, the other day, remember? He's going to be the judge in this one.
And apparently they didn't come back to their rooms last night at all.
They?
Other and Judge Jigoku, I mean.
That's Jigoku too?
That's right. Nobody appears to have seen either of them since yesterday.
Counsel for the defense and the defendant. Court is about to be in session. Please make your way inside the courtroom at once.
Good luck then, Ronaldo. Good luck, Susie.
Yes, thank you, Iris.
And you too, Mr. Reaper. I hope it goes well.
Once again, I thank you for the delicious tea. It was very soothing.
Oh, I'm so glad. We must go inside now, Lord and Six.
Lord Van Six has always been the formidable prosecutor I've had to lock horns with in court. Not today. Today, I battle with another in pursuit of the truth. Best friend, Kazuma Sogi, who I trust more than anyone in this world. Now I understand what it was that drew me here to Britain all those months ago. Now I know exactly what destiny had in store for me. I've been leading up to this one day, this one trial, to this one final reckoning. "3rd of November, 9:30 AM. The Old Bailey Courtroom." What? It feels even more oppressive here than it did yesterday. There are cold stares piercing me like knives from all sides today.
Mr. Naruto, look!
Lord Strongheart! La Virgen. Kazuma must have known beforehand. The ramifications of this trial now extend far beyond the murder of one Scotland Yardsman. In fact, events have come to light that threaten to rock the very foundations of our country's legal system. Something different. Look at his gable too. That's not the usual gable that he wears, is it? Escape of a condemned criminal on the night of his execution. The subsequent unlawful shooting of the man. The revelation that prison staff must have been complicit in the jailbreak. Britain is currently hosting influential members of the judiciary from countries all around the world. It is imperative that we uncover the truth in these proceedings to avoid international embarrassment. By royal decree, this will continue to be a closed trial. And one over which I, Miles Strongheart, exercise total and unequivocal authority. The 6 jurors flames just... As was the case in yesterday's proceedings, those here present in the public gallery are distinguished members of our judiciary, assembled to bear witness to a fair judicial process. In other words, a collection of your accolades, Lord Strongheart. On a personal note, I find this most distressing, Lord Van Six. You were a prosecutor of exceptional talent. Much like your brother Clint, in fact. Oh dear God. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. For the trial of Baruch Van Six, who officially stands accused of murder. Counsels for the prosecution and defense, are you in full readiness to proceed? The defense is ready, my lord. As is the prosecution. Yesterday's proceedings brought to light a shocking and disturbing fact. There was a side to the victim, Inspector Tobias Gregson, was unknown to his superiors at Scotland Yard. The music, yes. I assume that this is Lord Strongheart's theme? Yes, he was carrying out operations in secret, which Scotland Yard knew nothing about. And in those clandestine operations, he had an accomplice. Mr. Daily Vigil, who would be given the inspector's identification, and present himself in around the capital in order to establish credible alibis for Gregson. In that way, Gregson appeared to be carrying out his regular Scotland Yard work when in fact, he wasn't. At the end of yesterday's session, Mr. Vigil, who had been suffering from amnesia, regained his memory. That's like, what, 2 cases of amnesia in one game? Like, if I had a penny for every case of amnesia, that do not drill. It would appear he buried his memories of the time deep inside himself as a means of self-preservation. Because whilst he was engaged as chief warder at Berkeley Prison, he abetted the convict's escape. Mr. Vigil is currently recuperating at St. Cyrus. He's recovered enough to give a signed statement about his movements on the day prior to the incident. He's formally admitted to posing as Gregson whilst investigating the Red-Headed League. Which brings us to the crucial issue of the victim's time of death. The defense yesterday proposed a suggestion that the victim may have been killed 1 day earlier. This was based largely on the discovery that the victim's pocket watch had not been worn. Wound? I think the word is wound.
The prosecution has something to report on that subject, my lord.
Really? Go ahead, Prosecutor Asogi.
I met once again with the coroner yesterday to discuss the issue. He confirmed that the defense's suggestion could not be ruled out. It's entirely possible that Inspector Gregson was killed on the 31st of October, the day before his body was discovered. I have here an updated...
There he is! Updated autopsy report! He really is Edgeworth. Your garbage excuse my hypothesis. I'm going to shove my entire crowbat up your ass because it's fucking wrong. Why? Well, you see. Take a look at this motherfucking updated autopsy report. He got killed on your birthday, true.
I have here an updated autopsy report that includes the amended details.
But the official opinion of the investigation team was made clear yesterday. My favorite character, updated autopsy report, is back. That the time of death was 5 PM on the 1st of November.
There are indications of an attempt to disguise the real time of death, however. It seems the natural decaying process of the victim's money may have been slowed by keeping it hidden.
That's out of the question. There are no refrigeration devices in that part of London large enough to accommodate human counts. My lord, this is more than just conjecture. There is evidence to support the idea. We must investigate it thoroughly. Very well. The court will accept the new report as evidence. However, if this updated report is deemed to be accurate, it would give renewed significance to the movements of the victim on the day before the Fresno Street incident.
It would, yes, especially since on that day, Inspector Gregson was using Mr. Vigil to cover up his real movements. It's conceivable that he was killed in the course of his secret activities.
Do I sense that the prosecution has some information regarding those activities?
Scotland Yard put an enormous effort into investigating that precise matter yesterday. I think we should begin by presenting the results of that investigation work.
Do I have the updated autopsy report? No, I don't.
So the prosecution calls its first witness now.
Gina? Gina!
State your name and occupation for the court.
Inspector Gina Lestrade, reporting. Representative of Scotland Yard.
A self-conferred rank, but never mind.
Gina? Again? No, Rinosuke, but Gina is my child, my daughter. You will not say that about Gina. You will not speak that way about Gina.
What's your problem, Otto? What's with that Gina? Again? Look, eh?
Ah,
The boss meant the world to me. He done more for me than anyone else ever did.
oh, Inspector Gregson, you mean?
He got me out of this...
No sé hablar.
He got me out the back slums of the East End and took me under his wing. Told me that life can have a purpose. So that's why I'm the best person to be standing here. Speaking for him. Oh, Gina.
Right. All out of the goodness of Gregson's heart. Not at all that he had his arm twisted by Mr. Sholmes. No.
Relevant to these proceedings is that the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations yesterday has revealed that the victim was carrying out some assignment to the police knew nothing about.
Very troubling. That face. Lord Strongheart knew.
So, Inspector Lestrade, let's hear exactly what it says in that report.
Coming right up, sir.
Everything is coming together. The victim's movements. I am smiling so much that my jaw hurts right now.
All the detectives are supposed to follow orders and investigate what they're told. But the little search of the boss office turned up a notebook that had a lot of secrets meetings in it. According to that, the boss was looking into some smuggled goods dealings that day. looks like it was a big job and all, but the coppers weren't onto it yet. What matters most is there's witnesses what saw the Reaper at the place too.
Smuggle goods?
I don't know, do I? I'm just telling you what was written in the book.
Tobacco, tea, spices, medicines. Goods of all sorts flow into London by illegal channels from across the globe. It's well known that they are disposed of at regular black markets that take place in the capital. But the police are rarely able to locate them in time. So Inspector Gregson was investigating one of those black markets. It's been suggested that high-ranking government officials may be involved in black market activity. No doubt Gregson was trying to avoid details of his investigations being leaked to the involved parties. I would explain why he was operating on his own authority, without the Yard's knowledge. And do we know where the dealings were taking place this time? In a particular room of a certain exclusive London gentleman's club. And on the day in question, the accused is known to have been there. That's the conclusion of Scotland Yard's investigation into the matter.
That can't be. We haven't heard anything about any of this.
Members of the club have testified to it. There's no question. The accused, Barak Van Six, was present. That would be very significant testimony then.
Oh my, but... Lord Van Six has made no mention of this. At all.
In short, Lord Van Six had ample opportunity to murder the victim. Very well then. Counsel for the defense, begin your cross-examination.
Allí vamos.
Hold it!
So, you follow orders, do you, Gina?
Oh, not me.
There she is, my little rebel.
I'm above all that, see?
Oh,
The boss always had special orders for me. Grab us some fish and chips, or go and give Toby his rub. That kind of thing.
so errands more than orders then.
This detective is still an apprentice after all.
Yeah, well, this apprentice ain't one to sit around and wait to be told what to do. Even by the boss. That's why I've been doing my own investigations into what happened. I didn't find much at first.
Hold it!
So you went through Inspector Gregson's things.
Yup, as part of the independent Lestrade investigation.
I'm sure your superiors will be delighted that you are taking the initiative.
Oh, I snuck into his office when no one else was about. Cause if anyone at the yard had seen me going in there, they would have turned me straight out on the street.
This is sounding less and less like an investigation, and more like something else.
The prosecution understands that it was this very detective who discovered the notebook.
You got that right. Nothing gets past Inspector Lestrade and her trusty assistant, if Inspector Toby. We found it hidden in one of his desk drawers that had a false bottom.
That's impressive.
Well, then I went to hide myself, where no one could find me, so I could have a butcher's at what was written in it. Cause if anyone at the yard had found me out, they would have turned me straight out in the street.
Ah,
I've given it in now, though, ain't I? And if it weren't for me, I would never have been found.
that is correct.
Hold it!
Do you have any idea where those dealings were taking place?
Yup, it was all there in the boss's notes. Let's see if I can remember.
As I already said, the illegal dealings were due to take place at the Gentleman's Club.
Yes, I remember. But I was hoping to find out the name of the club.
That won't be necessary.
What?
It's conceivable that the club might be used again by the smugglers in the future. Therefore, the prosecution has been asked not to reveal the name in these proceedings.
I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's right here. All I've gotta do is read it out. And I could do it too. I've got the reading game button up now.
Aw, she learned how to read.
Can't I show you what I can do? Go on, what's the harm?
Go, Gina, go! The judge hasn't signaled his objection yet. We try to find out. What should I do? Let's insist. This is a closed court. The proceedings are confidential. There shouldn't be any possibility of the information being leaked. So I explain, there is some possibility of politicians being involved in this affair. The prosecution is rightfully exercising caution, I imagine. No, like, you told him.
No, my lord. The prosecution has no objection.
Kazuma?
There is no question that Inspector Gregson was looking into these black market dealings. However, it's not yet been established that he was on that particular trail on the day in question. If the defense requires to know the club's name, the prosecution has no intention of being obstructive.
What then? I get to show off my running skills.
The grouse.
Hold it!
The grouse? What sort of a club is that?
I ain't got the foggiest. Clubs ain't exactly my thing. But I'm kind of curious.
They're not places when a forest student like you would be readily admitted.
Have you looked in the mirror recently? Yes, Kazuma, have you looked in the mirror? You illegal Japanese immigrant that's like a persecutor now.
I tell you what, me and Chief Inspector Tommy could go in undercover.
Would you, though?
I could pick out a few good marks and see what else I could find out while I was in there.
I really don't think you should go picking out anything. Anyway, that's where these black market dealings were going to take place, is it?
Yeah, it's gonna be. That's what the lower ranking detectives all the yard reckon.
As the even lower ranking detective. The internalized racism. What did they do to him? He spent a week with 1-6. A single week. Oh, sorry.
Hold it!
So, how had Inspector Gregson come to find out about it in that case?
That's the question, ain't it? But I'm just an apprentice, so...
And why didn't he inform Scotland Yard of his findings?
Yeah, that's what I was asking myself. Cause, you know, I'm just an apprentice.
When it suits you, yes.
Anyway, the point is, something went on that cab. No question.
You can't say that for certain though, surely.
Hold it!
Lord 1-6 was at the club?
He was. Detectives who visited the club yesterday to make inquiries have confirmed it. Several members report having seen the accused being admitted to the room in question as a guest.
It looks like there's no disputing that he was there then.
Well, we know that Lord 1-6 was investigating Inspector Gregson, don't we? Perhaps he had already discovered the Inspector's secret notebook.
It's led him to the club, you mean? Maybe. Presumably then, there are also eyewitnesses who can testify that Gregson was there.
None have been identified at this point. At this time, no.
So the all-important victim wasn't seen at this mysterious club.
Oi, why aren't you asking Inspector Lestrade here, eh?
So that's all I've got to work with. Kina is not holding back with that ice-cold stare of hers, is she?
I really don't know what to make of all of this.
Lord 1-6 told us that he was investigating Inspector Gregson. But he never once mentioned that he met the Inspector the day before the incident.
You don't think Lord 1-6 would have been lying to us, do you?
That's not the only way to explain this.
Oh,
If everything Lord 1-6 has told us is true, then there must be a mistake in this testimony somewhere.
you mean there are details we've yet to uncover?
Exactly. A clue, perhaps, that even Gina hasn't noticed. That's what we should be looking for here. Okay, this one isn't really the statement that we're looking for, so I'm going to ignore the first one. Do we have anything to go through? Okay. $5 o'clock. That's okay. Like, why would he be at the club when he was going to France? I'm going to save, and we're going to continue, but like, I'm thinking, depends. This is like this is getting tough. Like it makes sense that it's tough, but like, Uncle Goods was gonna happen at the gentleman's club called the Grouse. Do you have any information about such place in here?
Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse, first class cabin 001. Yokohama departure, 11th of September. And an arrival 1st of November.
Got it. Ah, that's the boat that Professor Mikoto and Yachigoku came on from Japan, isn't it?
Yes, I think it called on at Dunkirk on the north coast of France for a night before they're finally arriving in Dover.
I think it's been almost a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Buria. It seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think?
Yes, I agree. I have mine safely in my diary.
And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, well, how strange. Where could it have gone?
Did you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo?
Did I imagine it? Or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? Okay, so the Grouse. Yeah, this is the letter of recommendation. Like, Grouse was a boat, but the boat arrived on the 1st of November. So how could Baroque Band 6, who was like in land, be there? Should I present it here or should I present it here?
Objection!
No, could be on the other one then. Let's load. Like, I was like, okay, so he couldn't have been in the boat the day before, but like,
Objection!
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense, but the other one also made sense in my head. I have read about these clubs that exist here in Britain. As I understand it, they are places where well-to-do gentlemen socialize with friends and colleagues. Don't imagine for a second that a foreign student like you would be admitted. Seriously, is your mirror cracked or something? Do we know for sure that the contraband dealings were definitely happening at a club called the Grouse? The police are currently looking for evidence, but haven't found anything definitive yet. And I'm sorry to say that they probably won't. What do you mean by that? I mean that the place Inspector Gregson was secretly going to visit on the 31st of October may not have been a gentleman's club at all. You're showing a very irreverent attitude towards our country's police force there, Counsel. It wasn't a gentleman's club. What was it? A steamship. You think it's a ship? I have the evidence to prove it. Here! Let me see that. This dark-suited young man is not in the least bit untrustworthy. The other side, my lord. Be more specific next time. This would appear to be a ticket for passage upon a steamship, yes. The SS Grouse. Theorizing the dumbest shit possible right now because I didn't watch the first investigation. So there's a steamship named the Grouse that happens to share a name with the club. So the Grouse was the steamship in which Susato's father and Yachigoku came to the country, and they arrived on the 1st of November. However, we are theorizing that Gregson died on the 31st of October. So how did he die And how did Van Six get on a boat that wasn't scheduled to arrive until the next day?
But I'm afraid to say, there's a flaw in your logic there.
How?
Look at the ticket. Notice the date of arrival in port. The ship arrives at the port of Dover on the 1st of November.
Ah,
The day on which the sound like a gunshot was heard on Fresno Street. In other words, on the day in question here, 31st of October, when the victim was on his clandestine mission,
what if Gregson isn't even fucking dead and he was just a wax figure? What if he dipped? You know, it would be very fun if he was like another fucking wax figure, but I don't think that would be the case.
that ship hadn't yet docked on British shores. I would certainly make an undercover investigation somewhat challenging.
Objection!
The fact that the steamship hadn't yet reached Britain substantiates the defense's assertion that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the day in question.
Then show your evidence for that assertion.
Very well.
In that case, counsel for the defense, present your evidence to the court.
Hold up. I need to do something real quick. Reaccionar, total. This is me right now. This is me right now. Ryunosuke, I was going with Kazuma there. What are you going on about right now? What are you talking about?
Evidence that substantiates your claim that the victim was investigating the SS Grouse on the 31st of October.
This is Ryunosuke too, I'm sure. Fuck. Fuck. Maybe it was the red wig because it looks like. Ah, the passport. Maybe? Because he was scheduled to go to France, so maybe he got on a boat first and then somehow jumped boat? I have no fucking clue.
Take that!
What is this? Passport for travel issued to the victim. Dated 31st of October. What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that just one day before the inspector's body was discovered, there is a distinct possibility he wasn't even in the country.
Order! Order! This document is for passage to France. Does appear to have been officially authorized.
The day before the SS Grouse arrived at Dover, it docked on the northern coast of France for a night.
According to my father, who was on board, the port of Dunkirk.
Dunkirk, France. What could possibly have taken the victim there? I'm impressed, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I certainly didn't expect you to get your hands on that passport.
What? You mean you knew about this?
Prosecution strategy for this trial has been laid down by the Crown Prosecution Office. On the day before the incident, the victim was investigating contraband dealings at a London club. As the outcome of Scotland Yard's investigations and the line the prosecution has been asked to follow. But personally, I don't agree. I think the prosecutor's office is trying to hide something.
What?
And now that you have expertly disproven their assertion, I intend to reveal what I believe that something to be.
Is it legal for the prosecution to hide findings from the defense? I mean, in this fictional world, probably. I mean, it's also fucking Kazuma that we're talking about here. Like, he doesn't care about the law right now. He only cares about finding the truth. Like, I don't think that it's legal in real life.
What are you playing at, Prosecutor Asogi? The courtroom is a forum for the truth, my lord. It is why it's my duty to present all the facts, without exception. Let me guess. This was your intention from the outset, wasn't it? The reason Inspector Gregson secretly made his way on the steamship docked in France on the day in question was to carry out a mission for the Reaper.
The Reaper?
Order! Order! What on earth are you saying, Counselor?
The prosecution made an assertion in court yesterday.
Inspector Gregson was investigating the identity of the Reaper. When he discovered the location of the man's secret hideout, he was killed.
I'm sure everyone can imagine.
By the Reaper's hand. But in reality, the truth is the opposite of that.
What?
Inspector Gregson wasn't investigating the Reaper at all. He was, in fact, acting for the Reaper.
No, so you are saying the mission he was undertaking was...
Obviously, an assassination. Barak Van Six never carried out any of the actual killings. Whenever the Reaper's victims lost their lives, he always had a cast iron alibi. Which tells us that he must have had an accomplice.
You claim that was Inspector Gregson.
Hold it! What the hell did you think you're saying, eh? My boss would never have done nothing like that.
And yet,
when you consider all the facts, it all makes perfect sense.
No, it can't be. We also arrived at the same conclusion, didn't we? That Inspector Gregson was operating as the Reaper.
even so, there is no way that the person giving him his orders was Lord Van Six. No, True Reaper is somebody else. Barak Van Six is not the Reaper.
A predictable response. Someone who's advocating for the man.
And even if it's true that Gregson was operating as an agent of the war, the suggestion that he went aboard the SS Grouse on an assassination mission doesn't follow at all.
Oh, you have some solid reason for doubting the assertion, do you, Counsel?
Absolutely. It's very simple. On the day in question, nobody was killed aboard that steam. Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku were on that very ship. Someone had been assassinated. Certain we would have heard about it. What is so funny?
You're right, of course. No suspicious deaths were reported on board the ship. But I think perhaps you've missed the point. That's precisely why Inspector Gregson himself lost his life.
What?
Gregson did board the SS Grouse that night, with the intention of dispatching his men. Mission ended in failure.
Failure?
It seems that the defense hasn't yet grasped a very important detail here.
What are you talking about? What detail?
Inspector Gina Estrade.
What?
The victim's notebook that you read an excerpt from earlier. That doesn't contain details of secret investigations at all. It describes 10 years of assassination plus, carried out by the Reaper of the Bay.
You're lying. Even if all them blooders what got taken out had it coming. The boss, or if the Reaper. Poor Gina.
Like, Gina cannot stop taking huge L's. Poor girl.
There's no question that Tobias Gregson was heavily involved in the Reaper's activity. He may just be an apprentice, but if you spent any time at Scotland Yard, must have heard the rumors.
I ain't heard nothing. I don't believe a word of it.
Gotta go dinner. Have a nice dinner, La Yaya. We'll be right here when you come back.
Then testify again. The representative, Scotland Yard. Consider it your chance to defend your boss.
I don't.
I concur. The witness will give a new formal testimony. Miss Lestrade, you will tell the court everything you know about Inspector Gregson's team.
The Reaper's notebook.
Well, this notebook does have a lot of stuff about what the Reaper got up to these past 10 years. There's some victims, dates, and places and stuff. And the last entry there was 31st of October. It said gross for the place and the date, and then the name of the mark. There was a note about him being a criminal who got away from the Reaper in court 10 years ago or somewhat. But honest, the boss didn't do none of it. He was just investigating the Reaper. That's all.
Personal opinions of your testimony. We require only established.
Must be so hard for her. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. Okay, I'm back. I hope that my voice isn't too loud because it's dipping into the red, so I might lower it a little bit. All right then. Let me do this real quick. Perfect. Now then, shall we continue? This must be so hard for her.
You can't deny now, surely. What
What can't I deny?
That you are gay for me.
Ah, damn it, he's right.
The notebook contained the name of the final mark and the location where the assassination would take place. That is information that the victim could only have known if he was working with the Reaper.
Ah,
So, who was to be this final mark? Go ahead, Inspector Lestrade. Read the name for the court. The name that's written alongside the entry that mentions the grouse on the 31st of October.
then.
I think it's still not her strong suit. Let me guess, it's going to be either Mikotoba or Jigoku.
I think the problem is right, Oba. It's a funny name. It is English. It's hard to read.
So it's someone from overseas?
I mean, I must read. Chihiro. Is it? Yeah, Chihiro. You. Maybe?
What? It can't be. Seishiro Jigoku?
But that's Jigoku.
Seishiro Jigoku. Certainly not an English name, you're right.
Objection!
But that can be right. I know just Jigoku. And I saw him the day before yesterday here in London. So I know for a fact that the man hasn't been assassinated. Well, he did mysteriously disappear after that. As I said, the Reaper failed. Oh. Gregson missed his chance to kill his mark and return to British shores. But the Reaper wouldn't tolerate the mistake. So he killed the Inspector. Personally. The Reaper, of course, being the accused. Barok Van 6. It's an undeniably logical argument. Asuma, you planned for the trial to go this way all along, didn't you?
Hold it!
Debut! Pray forgive the discourtesy of filling my hallowed chalice whilst I stand accused of murder. My fucking boyfriend. My fucking husband. Lord Van Six? The accused has no right to speak uninvited in court. You will return to the dock. Alcoholism. I say nothing of whether or not I'm the Reaper. That is the task of this court to decide. But there's one thing I can say unequivocally. That girl is no detective.
No, that's right. I ain't. I'm an inspector.
Repeating rumors heard around the yard. Reading entries from a notebook of unconfirmed origin. That is not testimony. It's practically script. No doubt the rest of this trial will go exactly as you have clearly planned. Your hatred of me is understandable. In your mind, you're sure I am the Reaper, who sent your father to the gallows all those years ago. But you're in danger of becoming a far more sinister Reaper yourself, by attempting to have me condemned with this feeble excuse for testimony. What did you say?
Mr. Naruhodo, this is your chance.
My lord, the defense requests that the defendant be allowed to speak. He may be privy to the important information relating to the testimony just given by the witness. Very well. I will make an exception and grant the request. The defendant may remain in the witness stand for the cross-examination. Then allow me to toast the court's impartiality. Don't raise your glass in my direction, sir. Counsel for the defense, begin the cross-examination immediately. At once, my lord. We are pulling all stops here. The Reaper's notebook.
Hold it!
In other words, it shows that Gregson was basically acting as the Reaper.
What do you know? That ain't the only explanation, is it? He could have been investigating the Reaper in secret. And that notebook said what he found out.
If I may. When originally people began referring to me as the Reaper, I didn't object. I believe the power to intimidate London's criminal classes into compliance with the law to be beneficial. But you carried out your own investigations into the true identity of the Reaper, didn't you? Yes, and those investigations proved conclusively that Gregson was one arm of the Reaper.
One arm?
What are you on about?
The Reaper's victims are all extremely shrewd and criminals at the top of their game. There is simply no way one person could have taken them on alone. The Reaper is an organization. With you at its head, I had spies at the yard keeping me abreast of Gregson's movements, letting me know when he was elsewhere. Though I had been able to check the most recent entry in his book, I knew the location.
You knew it said grouse?
Believing it to be a reference to the Gentleman's Club, I went there on the day in question to investigate, alone.
Ah, so that explains why several members of the club claim to have seen you there.
But of course, the inspector was not there. Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docks on the northern coast of France. As shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk. Very well then, back to your testimony about the contents of this notebook.
Fine. Is something wrong, Mr. Narjado? You seemed a little shocked by something a moment ago.
Yeah, how did Kazuma know about the metal trunk? Oh, no, it's alright. I'm overthinking this, aren't I? Yeah, like how did he know about the metal trunk? It was removed from the scene, but subsequently recovered by Gina. And there's also like the little part of metal in it, and the stain of blood.
Names of victims, it is done.
Hold it! Okay. Names of victims, dates, places, and stuff. What in particular?
Well, besides the victims' names, this other name kept cropping up.
What other name was that?
It's the one I told you yesterday. The same name, written over and over again.
You mean... Assassin?
Yeah, that's the one. She's a friend of yours or somewhat, isn't she?
Were you even listening yesterday?
Assassin. The assassin.
Oh, that's like quite obvious, game. Please. That's like...
Ah yes, I am very smart about this one.
What? Like, a killer, you mean?
Gregson was the tactician, the one who came up with the plan of attack. He investigated the marks thoroughly, finding out when they would be vulnerable, and who to use to get at them.
But the person actually executing his plans was someone else, you're saying? If that's true, then the Reaper does indeed start to sound like an organized group of vigilantes. Ah, then perhaps what is on the passport document. Permission for the applicant and one additional person to travel. Could that additional person have been...
Clearly the assassin, who was meant to take Seishiro Yugoku's life.
Gina, can you confirm that? Against the final entry and that listed Grouse and Seishiro Yugoku. What name was written?
Oh, well, that's the only entry that didn't have a name next to it, as it happens.
What?
It just had like a question mark or something there, I think.
Yeah, because Assassin is actually dead at the moment. He died back in Japan. In other words, Gregson himself didn't know the identity of the assassin in that case.
But Gregson was the one making the plans, was he not?
Oh, how infuriating.
A nameless assassin? Hold it! And you're saying that the mark listed was Seishiro Jigoku?
That's what it said. What a name, if you ask me. And I thought your name was odd.
So pleased to have lost my crown there.
Mr. Jigoku is the presiding judge of Japan's Supreme Court of Judicature.
I remember the man. He came to our country as a visiting student 16 years ago.
Studying international law and diplomacy under your tutelage, my Lord Strongheart.
That bearded young fellow was a very able man, I must say. So, Lord Strongheart was Judge Jigoku's mentor. Wilson was Mikoto-Ba's, and Clint... No, sorry, Gregson was the mentor of Genshin because he was going to police force. If I'm not mistaken, he returned to Japan 10 years ago now.
10 years ago, after that fateful case.
Precisely. In the aftermath of the professor case, his repatriation was organized immediately. I'm going to organize myself a glass of water. Please allow me to refill my chalice of water before continuing the trial. See, this is why Van 6 is perfect for me, because I drink water, he drinks wine, and I would be able to stop his alcoholism in his tracks. It's a mystery why such a man would be listed in the inspector's notebook.
I didn't think it was possible, but the mood in here's got even worse now. Maybe I will just keep talking.
I could fix him, Era. No. Actually, I want to make him worse. Instead of only drinking wine, he will only throw wine at people.
Hold it!
What do you mean, a criminal? Judge Jigoku is no criminal.
Well, don't ask me. I don't know nothing about it. Oh, do you remember what father told us? That Judge did once appear in court here in Britain. It was related to the professor case, I'm sure.
Yes, of course, you're right. Ishiro was trying to mitigate Genshin's guilt, so he took to the stand to testify. But he got a little carried away and actually managed to break the witness stand. He also said some contemptuous words about the British Empire, for which he was charged. Based. It was a pitiful situation, yes. I had forgotten all about it. But I prosecuted that trial too as it happens. You did? It was considered to be an adjunct to the professor's proceedings, you see. But he was acquitted after being told to make reparation for the damage caused to the stand. And there you have it. Of what? Surely the accused hasn't forgotten his own rule. That there is no saving anyone who faces the Reaper in court. Guilty or innocent alike. What? No! Are you suggesting that the reason Judge Jigoku was targeted for assassination? The man was sent back to Japan immediately after that trial. The Reaper had no time to do his work. But then, 10 years later, the Mark returns to Britain once more. Perhaps now you start to see just how vindictive the Reaper is. Come on, that's absurd. To take someone's life for that? Isn't the whole premise of the Reaper absurd, killing those who have been found innocent? Clearly the rules by which the man operates are beyond a sane person's comprehension. But...
Objection! Right! I've just had about enough of this!
Gina?
All this nonsense about the boss planning to kill people! It's cobblers! Come on, Odo!
Yes?
Why ain't you saying nothing? Why ain't you yelling out objection or somewhat?
What?
You've got to find a flaw. You do, usually. Someone's lying here. No question. You've got to work out who it is. Please. For the boss.
No, Gina. That outburst was an insult to the court and to your own testimony. I might have known that a common pickpocket from the back slums couldn't make a detective. My girl, my little darling, I will protect you to the end of my days, but... Pan 6, a standing model? Yeah, he's like... very... Oof. Also, yes, my girl! my funky little pickpocket lesbian. When this trial is over, You will forfeit your warrant card, Miss Lestrade. Una mierda. Hijo de puta, hijo de la grandísima puta. Te voy a pegar un tiro. Yo voy a ser tu Reaper. I'm going to Reaper your fucking heart, Stoneheart. Don't you dare speak like that about my girl. He's guilty. Is that clear?
I've had it with a lot of you. It's the last ever bleeding place to look in the world, in it. Well, I've had enough. Gina.
So have I. After that little speech of Gina's, I've made up my mind. He's guilty. Yell at him now.
Do what, Miss Energodo?
There was one point in this cross-examination when something that was said just didn't sit right with me. One statement that seemed odd.
Oh, do you mean...
I'm not going to let Gina's plea for help fall on deaf ears.
Hold it!
I want to thank you, Gina. You helped me find my resolve. What do you mean? Amongst everything we've heard during this cross-examination, there's one thing that defies explanation. One inconsistency. What? An inconsistency?
Periodo.
I don't quite know what it means yet, but... Yes, there is an inconsistency in something that was said by... Kazuma, because he knows about the metal casing, but it was apparently in the... I think it's going to be Kazuma. Also, this is Maria Gori, Blue Parrot. You didn't meet her, but like, she's goth, like goth corner, and she's fucking great. I love her so much. And my another daughter.
Take that!
By you, Kazuma Sogi. Me? Is this some attempt at filibustering, Counsel? Prosecutor Asogi has given no testimony. What are you suggesting I said that was inconsistent? You let something slip that you shouldn't have. When I present the relevant piece of evidence, I imagine you will realize what you've done. Very well then, Counsel. Go ahead. What evidence reveals this alleged inconsistency in something Prosecutor Asogi has said?
Take that!
Damn. Oh, how cute. Kazuma sleeps on his left side, so now half his hair is flat. That's true. This is a trunk that belonged to Inspector Gregson. A metal construction, is it? It's certainly very heavy. What is this? A bloodstain? And a relatively fresh one, too.
What? You mean that increase from all the boss's fish and tips?
Fresh blood on the inspector's trunk. That suggests that the victim was traveling with that luggage when he was killed.
That can't be. There was no mention of any trunk in Scotland Yard's report. Yes, there is a reason for that. Immediately after the inspector's body was discovered, one of the street peddlers made off with the trunk, hoping to sell it.
But I found it! Me, with me nose in for trouble.
Which means that nobody should have known anything about the trunk. Unless, of course, we're talking about somebody who was present when the victim was killed. And yet, during the cross-examination of the witness just now, you said this, Kazuma.
Because at the time he was making his way to the steamship docked on the northern coast of France, as shown by the passport found in the victim's metal trunk.
So the question is, how did you know about the inspector's trunk?
We know the man went on a trip to France. Where else would he have put his passport?
Objection!
But you knew it was a metal trunk. Answer me honestly, Kazuma. On the 31st of October, where exactly were you?
At the port of Dunkirk, on board the SS Grouse. Is that the answer you're looking for, Ryunosuke?
What the fuck is this game? Kazuma! What did you... I hadn't considered the possibility before, but... if Kazuma was there on the ship, then... it can only have been for one purpose.
Oh no, Mr. Naruto. Surely you don't think...
Come on, Ryosuke, you know the rules. The only thing that really talks in the courtroom is hard evidence. As I understand it, Inspector Gregson always took that case with him when he traveled. So as it stands, you've proved nothing.
Kazuma. Are you challenging me to prove it? Beyond all reasonable doubt. Se pelean los novios, gente. The boyfriends are fighting. That you were there that day, in the same place as the inspector.
He was there? With Gregson?
There is a clue that you have overlooked. A secret that trunk can tell us. I can't be sure at this point. I will need to verify it. But I have a nasty feeling that I'm going to be right. Guys, is the little metal that is stuck in the chest, in the trunk, a piece of Karuma? Me están diciendo I am being told via Twitter that I should drink water and get my posture ready. Gracias Tati. No sé si estás escuchando el directo, pero muchas gracias. Thank you for that. Agüita. The accusation being made is deeply disturbing. Nevertheless, we must test it. Ahí está. Bienvenida, Tati. Estoy en el final del juego, entonces si no quieres spoilers te avisaría que salieras ya. Ay.
The defense will identify for the court where in the trunk this alleged clue is to be found. Where is the evidence that ties Prosecutor Asogi to Inspector Gregson?
Got it!
This is your proof. What do you say to that, Inspector Asogi? Personally, I think tying the defense counsel to the Inspector's trunk and tossing it into the sea would be more helpful.
Voy a mutearlo, pero me quedo por puntitos. Están guapos los señores. Sí, muy guapos. I think I should have opened the trunk first, though. What?
At least that way, London's courtroom will be safe from his destructive accusations. I fucked up.
I believe that was a rather long-winded way of telling you that you're wrong, Mr. Naruto.
Very well. Let us see if you sink or swim under the weight of this penalty, counsel.
Ah!
Mr. Naruto, you can't allow yourself to be drowned at the sea yet.
I was hoping never to let that happen, funnily enough. Okay, I will try again. Like, can I open it? Like, this is the same thing. I pointed it here, but okay, whatever. Okay, it has to be that.
Got it!
Es lo mismo que había dicho yo, pero bueno. Alright. There's a small piece of metal lodged in the wall of the trunk here. Like the tip of a blade.
A blade?
Kazuma, slung around on your waist as ever today, is destined blame Karuma.
Of course it is.
Once you draw it, here in this courtroom, for all to see.
Exercise caution, my learned friend. That man is the son of London's most notorious killer.
And my boyfriend.
Bailiff, watch Prosecutor Asogi like a hawk. That won't be necessary.
no!
The tip is broken. If the fragment of metal from the trunk fits together with the end of the sword, the question of who was there with Inspector Gregson will be answered. Agreed. Katsuma Asogi? Expertly done, Rinosuke. That is a point to you, and well deserved. Do you mean to tell the court, Prosecutor Asogi? Yes, on the 31st of October, I accompanied Inspector Gregson to Dunkirk in order to carry out a mission. So the additional person authorized to travel was me. And the mission was the assassination of the man. What? You mean you're the killer whose name was omitted from this notebook? You were following the Reaper's orders to dispatch Judge Goku? I keep thinking back to the telegram at the end of the first game. Jay Wilson, A. Shin, Gregson, and Kazuma. Is that the organization of the Reaper as a whole? Let me make one thing perfectly clear. I have killed no one. Explain. I accepted the assassination mission, yes. And I accompanied Gregson to Dunkirk. But I never had any intention of carrying out the plan. You were never going to do it?
You can believe Kazuma-sama, I'm sure. After all, Judge Goku arrived safely in London the following day.
On the 31st, I boarded the train from London with Inspector Gregson. We traveled to Dover, from where we crossed the channel to Dunkirk. We boarded the SS Grouse and made for the cabin deck, as indicated in the plan.
We went to Judge Goku's cabin.
Exactly. He wasn't there though. We decided to wait, but... But you've already told us that you had no intention of going through with it anyway. I didn't come to Great Britain to take anyone's life. So I left Gregson and disembarked at the ship. I spent that night at a boarding house in the town, and returned to England the following morning. The boarding house in Dunkirk? My signature will be in the register. It would be simple enough to verify. Then, what became of Jigoku? Gregson was no assassin, so the mark was spared. I'm sure it's easy enough to imagine what happened after that. Gregson returned to England as well, having failed to complete the mission. He met with the Reaper in that room on Fresno Street to report the failure, causing the infuriated mastermind to pull the trigger. And then his wretched agent's life. That's the real truth behind Inspector Gregson's murder.
Objection!
Ooh. But if you did nothing as you claim, how did the tip of your sword come to be lodged in the Inspector's trunk? Prosecutor versus prosecutor. I don't need to answer that. The victim was killed by a gunshot. A small fragment of a Japanese blade isn't relevant to the case. And accordingly, I choose to exercise my right to silence on that matter. Be that as it may, God will sequester the sword as evidence. As you wish, my lord. The great sword Karuma has been entered into the court record. We must take immediate action now. Four whole rows of evidence. Holy shit. Karuma, the great blade. It's such a thing of beauty. I want to gaze on it for hours. The tip of the great sword. Broken. It's such a shame. It's been so meticulously cared for over the years. I can almost hear Karuma's sobs. Kazuma must have really taken a swing for that to happen. Anything else that we can notice? Not really. Alright. Verify whether Shishiro Jigoku remains unharmed. What? Remains unharmed? I agree. That should be our first priority. It's recently come to my attention that he hasn't been seen since yesterday. How did you... When a foreign dignitary invited to Great Britain goes missing for 24 hours. It's only natural that the question of his safety should arise. You don't mean to say that you think Yashigoku may have been killed? The Reaper has more than one assassin at his disposal, and he has the power to and influence to give orders from the inside of a prison cell. Isn't that right, Lord Van Six? If I were truly the Reaper, I would be able to tell you. Alcoholic. Order! Order in court. Order. We will take an emergency recess for 30 minutes. Now? Guests of the symposium have been told to maintain regular contact with the organizer's office. If the man can't be located within half an hour, we'll have to assume the worst.
Oh no, not Yatsugoku.
No one would want to kill a harmless Japanese man who had only just arrived in the country. Except, that is, for the Reaper, wanting to finish off a mark that slipped through that net 10 years ago. I will have to agree. Mr. Naruhodo, for the defense's sake. My lord? I sincerely hope we are successful. If we're unable to confirm Mr. Jigoku's healthy existence in the next 30 minutes, we will face grave difficulties. Ah! Court is adjourned for 30 minutes.
Kazuma-sama, the Reaper's assassin. I feel as though I'm in a nightmare.
I can hardly believe it either. But on the other hand, Kazuma isn't in the habit of making up stories.
I have such a terrible sense of foreboding. If something awful has happened to Yatsugoku, then I feel as though things will only spiral further and further out of control.
I felt it from the moment I stepped into the courthouse this morning. That strange sensation that we were careering towards a foregone conclusion. Well, in the worst case, we might only have 30 minutes left. Unfortunately though, I don't think there's anything we can do but wait now. We're out of options.
Actually, there may be one last hand that we can play. Or rather, one last year.
Of course! The little Mr. Shroom's doll that Iris gave us.
If for some reason you completely run out of options in the child today, then just put these little Harley's ears as hard as you possibly can.
Perhaps now is the time. What should I do? Pull Harley's ears or not? Oh, I mean, we do need luck for Jigoku to show up. ¿Qué hacemos, chat? What do we do? What to do? What to do? I would save and pull, yeah. Here goes then. I'm going to do it.
Good luck, Mr. Naruhodo.
Maybe it's similar to Apollo Justice. I wouldn't know because I don't remember Apollo Justice very well. Now looking back... If... Ow!
That scream sounded like Mr. Jones.
Mr. Sons? Where are you?
Here, my dear fellow, here.
It's the felt doll talking. Voodoo!
Hold the ears again, Mr. Naruto. As hard as you can.
Alright then, I will put all my strength into it. If... Ow!
Please, my dear fellows, you don't need to pull my ear off.
Mr. Jones, where are you?
Myself and my trusty partner are presently in the first class cabin area of the SS Growth.
The SS Grouse? Also, what the fuck, is this a phone? At this time of year, in this era? Localized entirely in a little felt doll?
She left Dover last night after the final pieces of cargo were loaded. We are currently docked at Dunkirk, but due to be underway and again in half an hour.
You've taken a ship to France?
Please, even with my athletic prowess, I would struggle to jump the Straits of Dover. After we left Baker Street last night, we hurried by cab to the station and by train to the port, in order to board this vessel in time.
So, you mean you had already worked it out? That the steamship was where everything really took place?
Mr. Naruhodo, pray, what is my name?
Sherlock Holmes, world famous great detective.
Recited to perfection. Well done.
You're a genius, Mr. Jones. That is the only word for it.
Oh. Miss Susato, gently with this genius here.
Oh my, I'm ever so sorry.
If I may, Shones. Ah, there you are, Migotoba. You may remember that it was in fact I who made the connection to the SS Grant. At Scotland Yard yesterday when we examined the notebook and I recalled my steamship ticket. But of course it was, my dear fellow. And not once did I controvert that fact. I merely had our court-bound companions utter my name. Yes, you did, didn't you?
¡Buah! Tenemos un bot en chat. Increíble. This might be one of the final streams of this game, and we have a bot in chat. Cojo. I grab a bot, I throw it in the trash, and that's 3 million bots that I have banned. Now, ban, Shaggy, Gribo. The bot is fucking apologetic. No mercy.
Yes, you did, didn't you?
We have just entered the recess. The trial resumes in 30 minutes from now.
And if we're unable to present any new leads, then I'm afraid to say.
Do not fret, please. It's for precisely that purpose that my partner and I have made this journey. I have no doubt that we shall have very welcome news for you within the half hour.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. That would be wonderful.
Until later then.
Yes. You will be hearing from us if you're not in touch first.
Oh. I should be hearing anything if you keep tugging in my ear in that mindless fashion. Whatever was the idea behind making a receiver operate in that way in the first place, Sean? Why did you say would I know? It's Service's invention, not mine. Whilst I know how much you enjoy being the hero of the hour, Shones. We have but half of that now before the growth puts to sea again. If we don't conclude our investigations rapidly, we shall find ourselves in Naples before long. There are times, Migotoba, when you make a surprising amount of sense. So, let us begin.
Wait, we are playing as Mikoto and Sholmes now?
First class cabin number 2.
Yeah, this is the one. Also, sir? Sir, I know you.
But I don't believe an investigation of the cabin is going to be plain sailing. That crewman standing in front of the door is an angry-looking fellow. Why are you loitering here? Who are you? My dear fellow, do you not recognize a world-famous detective when you see one? The question really ought to be, who are you?
Look, Sholmes. It's written on his hand. Did you not recognize well-traveling great sailor ticking slogan off when you see? Great detective? Huh, I don't think so. Do you see that, Mikotoba? It would appear that this man is a devoted follower of mine. Goodness me, is that it too? That says Sholmes? I must say, while such adoration is flattering naturally, it does leave me a little cold. What are you talking about? Leave, now! How distressing. My loyal devotee knows me only by my name, and not by appearance. And yet I already know a great deal about you, sir. You have a brother, I believe. Like yourself, he's a shipman. Currently traveling the world about a Russian steamship, in fact. How could you know this? Elementary, my dear Mikotoba. I'm sure it was. 3 days ago, I was bound for London aboard this ship, you see. We're looking for one of my fellow passengers, a man by the name of Jacob. There is no one with this name on board. But we know that he purchased a ticket for passage. Ah, you mean Easterman? He left ship 2 hours ago. Here at Dunkirk. He said something about emergency, I think. What? Are you sure? So, she just realized that we're after him, see? This cabin is the one behind you. We should like to investigate, please. No! I have orders not to let even mouse inside. Mikotoba, be a good man and draw this sailor's attention away, would you? Make up some excuse so that he leaves the area. Doesn't great detectives see that even sailors have ears, both left and right? Curses! The plan is ruined! Sholmes, there wasn't any plan to begin with. And you have only yourself to blame, I'm afraid, Sholmes. Forget it. Cabin door is locked. Even if I am not here, you cannot get inside. Mikotoba, I'm sure you haven't forgotten my special talent, have you? Opening any lock? Within a mere 5 seconds. No way you would be so kind as to afford me the requisite time, old friend, in your typically accommodating manner. How could I refuse such a typically unappealing request, old friend? So I need to destroy that burly sailor for 5 seconds, do I? Good man, so game is afoot. This must be a mousetrap, I think. Perhaps I could distract the crewman's attention with this somehow. Let's try it. Ah, choo-choo! That sounds like Big Mouse interrupt. Choo-choo! I will bring bucket of water later and put out of misery. I don't like the sound of that. In any case, my dear fellow, that was quite unconvincing. Only Japanese mice make it too sound. Oh really, Sholmes? Embrater, what sound do Russian mice make? Beep, 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 naturally. Though also quite unconvincing, I readily admit. So go ahead, Mikotoba, do a pee-pee this time. No thank you. I'm sure I can come up with an alternative solution. Ah, the switch for the electrical lights. Perhaps, if I were to turn off the lights, the crewman wouldn't be able to see what we were doing. Oh, what is happening? Where is light? No, Sholmes, no! Nobody there. That was a close shave. What a knack you have, stammering so violently in an apparently empty corridor. Great detectives in action. Yep.
To be quite Sholmes, I shall have to think of another approach.
Be right back. I need to be right back real quick. The great detectives at work here. I'm going to save. Just in case.
That is a speaking tool for members of the crew to communicate with one another around the ship. I could just show their stocky sailor friend that he needs to use it. Sholmes could unlock the door whilst he was distracted. The question is, how?
Clearly, with the alarm? It would appear to be an alarm bell.
But hell would break loose if that thing were to ring. The whole crew would know about it. Here goes then. Pardon me in advance.
Phew! What are you doing? If we were at sea, that would be a very bad problem.
What's going on down there? Seaman Stroganoff, report at once.
Sorry sir, nothing to report. It was just a stupid trick. No, not by me. By world famous. No, as I told you.
No, Sholmes, no!
Tom?
Not even 5 seconds, eh? Well, don't stand there gawping at my brilliance, Mikotova. In we go! Oh, yes.
3rd of November. Este es Grau. First class cabin. Number 2.
Good gracious. It would appear that the occupant of this cabin did indeed disembark rather hurriedly. Those clothes on the floor there. They are Shishiro's, without question.
Well, it seems they were just a little too late.
Yes, by about 2 hours. Still, whilst we're here, we should investigate thoroughly. There may well be 2 hours worth of clues to find in here. But that burly crewman may return at any moment, Sholmes. Indeed he may. Which makes this all the more thrilling.
Water?
Quite exquisite glass, I must say. Here, how it... Is something wrong, Sholmes? You suddenly trailed off. Ice, Mikotova, ice! What opulence the first-class passengers enjoy. Chilled drinks.
If this ship has ice, then this is clearly where Gregson was killed.
Pardon? Could it be that this steamship is equipped with an electrically refrigerated cold room, do you think? Well, it is a luxury liner after all.
It's also been 2 hours. Yep.
They have enormous refrigerators for storing all sorts of lavish produce as well as ice.
Maybe it's very strong ice. Blue Parrot.
On our voyage from Japan, we enjoyed culinary delight from all over the world.
Also, it's like November, so it's actually quite cold outside.
Suddenly, Mikotova. The sight of you is making my mouth water. I haven't taken on the flavor of the food I ate, you know. There's a speaking tube here, look, though it's been stoppered with some cloth. So the voices of the crewmen on the bridge aren't an annoyance, I suppose. Or indeed, so that the voices in this cabin aren't heard elsewhere.
It's not under 0 degrees. Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Did something have happened in here that was for no one else's ears, do you think? Either that, or could be to prevent snakes from entering. That's really becoming a favorite case of yours, hasn't it? That's a very sizable trunk indeed. K0 is partial to all things large. And a rather clumsy fellow if he failed to notice he had left that behind. Perhaps he left it on purpose. It's lighter than you might think, but still a hindrance to his speedy escape. Pity. It's locked, so we can't look inside. Surely 5 seconds from now the situation will be quite different though. Sadly not. It has a 7-digit combination lock. And I'm not in Morrow's enough mood to work through all the combinations at present. This is the waste paper basket, look. There's still rubbish inside. Indeed? Then let us try. I've discovered recently I have a penchant for exploring the contents of others' waste paper baskets.
Jesus, I can't believe I have the C1. It sounds fake. ¡Congratulations! ¿Acabas de recibir los resultados?
I sincerely hope only for our work.
It's not that, I know I have passed. Oh, okay. But anyway, congratulations still. I know you did well, and I am so proud of you. It was easy as fuck, yeah, same. When I did it, I felt the same. Actually, when I did my C1 exam, I was told that I was like 3 points off from getting a C2 directly. And I'm over here making mistakes. Now, we're here in a casual tone, we're having fun, we're laughing off. It's only normal that we're making mistakes because we're goofing, we're not here to be attentive to perfect grammar, we're here to have to speak with one another, to have fun. No, I don't have a C2. I was 3 points off from getting a C2. Which means I only have a C1.
I sincerely hope only for your work. Oh. Here we have a notice issued to passengers from 3 days ago. 3 days ago? And before we arrived in London then.
But it's still an achievement.
Yeah. Thank you. When I was still aboard myself.
Evacuation del notice 31st of October. Following departure from the port of Dunkirk, all the crew. Joder, no puedo ni leerlo.
Ah, yes. I remember now. For our safety and security, all first-class passengers were constantly under the watchful eye of the crew. So it was a welcome relief to have some privacy for once. According to the report I was given, Naruhodo was concealing himself in a Soviet wardrobe. Indeed he was, and he was of the similar size to this one. Oh, you must climb inside yourself, my dear. What? Whatever for? It was the site of my first fateful meeting with Mr. Naruhodo. You can experience the moment for yourself now, complete with my dramatic rhetoric. Come along now, in you go. It will only take a moment. Really, Sean, surely you can just tell me what you said. Well, I uttered some brilliant remark and opened the wardrobe to reveal the stowaway murder. I think I just read about it in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. The wall is a slightly different color just here, do you see? Indeed. What you have observed arises from a frame that has been hanging for some time is removed. Perhaps your friend is an artist. Now, there's about the action worthy of a great detective, I'm sure. He may very well be the elusive thief who has been plaguing Francis galleries of late. I think perhaps we should focus our attentions elsewhere, Shons, don't you? That outline on the wall.
feel as though I might have spotted something of a similar shape and size elsewhere. You're still here! Ah, Abel Steven Stroganoff. Hello again. I was beginning to think you would never materialize. You are waiting for me. Of course, I was expecting you to burst in with a hearty Russian profanity far sooner. I was in trouble for this, Captain, because of tricks you played before. Poor innocent chicken. It is all your fault. Ship is leaving port soon. Get off, now. Of course, we shall disembark presently, my dear fellow. But first, there is something that must be done. What are you talking about? Why, naturally. The debunking of your deceit, burying of the truth. Goy! I'm afraid I see through your lies. For one thing. Oh? Omen? Mr. Jigoku has not yet left this vessel at all. Ah! And for another, my dear Steven Stroganoff, you know exactly where the man is, even as we speak. You? How can you? I knew it. Good gracious souls! You mean you've worked it out? All of it? Not very hard to figure out. It's really been too long, hasn't it, old friend? 10 years, no less. So, would you care to join me for a dance of my inimitable logic and reasoning? Nothing would please me more. What is this? We have 5 minutes until the vessel puts to sea. No games now. Time is of the essence. Mr. Stroganoff, allow me to remind you of your earlier claim. You told us that Jigoku left the ship some 2 hours ago. Duh, that is what I said. Oddly, there was a rather clumsy lie. You see, there is something in this room that quite clearly contradicts it. What? Ah, yes, of course. I see you've noted it too, Mikotowa. Then please, do take the lead. What in this cabin shows the impossibility of Jigoku having disembarked 2 hours ago? Let's see what the last 3 years have done to your observational skills then, Mikotowa. It's been 10 years since we last did this, Jones, not 3. Why, of course it has. Quite. Now all the clues are here in the cabin for your eyes to see. But as I always say, you must not merely look, but observe. Observe and the answers become clear. So impress me. I think I can manage that. It must be the glass containing ice. Because if it was 2 hours ago, it would be melted. Oh. Perhaps you should have cleared away that glass. How curious that the ice shouldn't have melted despite it being abandoned 2 hours ago. Ah. It would appear that the man was here in this very cabin until moments before our arrival. Blue Parrot, you were right. You were on the dot. With this well-chilled glass in hand. Get your mind off the refreshment, Jones. One might even conclude that somebody informed him of our boarding. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Stroganoff? Deduction. But why would Seishiro run from us? Before we consider that question, allow me to compare one small matter. Would I be correct in saying that these first-class cabins of the SS Gross are the same ones in which you and Mr. Jigoku were accommodated on your voyage from Japan? Ah, that's right, they are. I was in the cabin next door, and Shishiro was... yes, 50 days in this very cabin during our voyage.
As I suspected, for you see.
There are traces in this cabin of a dark secret that Mr. Jigoku had to hide.
What traces?
I know nothing about this.
Ah, this is news to you, is it, Mr. Stroganoff? Jones, what exactly are you getting at?
As I said, there are traces in this cabin of some nefarious activity. Something that appears out of place, which I'm quite sure wouldn't have escaped your notice. I can't believe Mikotoba tapped dances.
Something out of place in here?
That is the key to this, Mikotoba. You know what's even more incredible? That Mr. Shams is right. That he's not making any mistakes. He's taking this seriously. He's not playing games anymore. All of the previous deductions were just him messing around with us. But here, with his true friend by his side, he can be the great detective that he truly is.
The remnants of the dark deed that took place in here are being masked by something quite incongruous. I must say, I didn't foresee ever doing this dance of deduction with you again, Mikotoba. No, quite. But life is full of unexpected twists and turns, as we will know. Now then, let's see if I can't uncover the truth here. Yes, you have the floor, my dear fellow.
Take that!
Because it was moved.
It's the rules of passage in this frame here. They are obviously out of place. The way they're hanging crooked on the wall, as if they were put here in a hurry. Yes, as I'm sure you have already concluded, that frame was originally over here. The shape and size are a perfect match.
Duh, you're right. When did frame move?
Hardly the most observant of crewmen, are you, Mr. Stroganoff? I would think your captain is quite justified in having his observations about your reliability. Oh dear, that really seemed to have touched a nerve. So, Mikotoba, why don't you leave that frame off the wall?
Is it going to be a blood stain?
That looks like a bullet hole.
What? Who has been shooting walls?
I see the projectile has been removed. Clearly the careful occupant of this room has already disposed of it. Now then, Mr. Stroganoff.
Ah!
I have the distinct impression that you're attempting to shield said occupant.
I don't know what you're talking about. Why would I try to protect Eastern Stranger?
Ah, so we're talking about the same man, I see. Good.
Ugh.
I'm sure we can get to the bottom of this in no time, aren't you? Because there's some very noteworthy evidence that explains the reasons why you're lying for the man. Yes, you've been told to keep up this pretense, as clearly shown by... I really don't know how to approach this one, Sharms. Oh, my dear Mikotoba, simply keep first principles in mind. Study your subject from every angle. And I'm quite sure that you will see it. In fact, I would put a wager on it. So I'm to glare at the fellow from all sides, but I can certainly do that.
So, chunky arms. You've been told to keep at his presence because you've been bribed.
Take that!
It's almost too obvious for words. What? The universal language of the world. Money. Ugh. And I will wager that the Eastern fellow in question is Shishiro Jigoku. Yes?
Ugh.
So I presume you realize what this means. There are clear signs that a crime has been committed in this cabin. The way you're going, sir, you will find yourself accused of being an accomplice.
But
I believe you know, Mr. Stroganoff. You know where Mr. Jigoku is hiding at this precise moment in time. As always, Mikotoba, in matters of deduction, the furtive glance is your unfaltering ally. Yes, I think you're onto something there, Sharks. You found the chink in this burly fellow's armor. We need only follow the man's gaze to know where our prey is hiding. The slightest flicker of the pupils, a minutely delayed blink. Nothing escapes my attention, not even that which is barely perceptible. You could hardly call this barely perceptible, Sholmes. The man turned his entire head. It's not exactly what you would describe as a furtive glance, is it? It's almost too obvious. We should let your tapping toes decide, my dear fellow. Dude. It's like fucking obvious where he is. In the trash bin! No, it's in the large trash.
Take that!
You turned immediately to look at this large trunk, didn't you? The truth is, Ishiro Jigoku was unable to escape from the ship in time. And is, at the very moment, doing his best to stifle his breath inside this trunk. If he still has a breath to take, I fear he may be running dangerously low on air. I imagine he didn't count on us making a nuisance of ourselves for quite so long. I think it would be in everyone's best interest for us to open the trunk as quickly as possible. Oh, but how can we? Are we forgetting about the combination lock? We don't know the 7-digit code. The combination lock can't be opened from the inside the trunk. Therefore, there must have been an arrangement for somebody to open it after our departure. Of course. In short, before Jigoku hit himself inside the trunk, he must have told somebody the 7-digit number for the lock. As I'm sure you can confirm, Mr. Stoganov. No, I know nothing about combination code. I wonder if the tattoo is the combination code. Because if you flip it around, it's like 5, 6, 3, 1, 0, 4, 5. Don't move a muscle, my good seaman. Huh? No, Mikotoba. Would you do the honors and open the trunk? 5, 6. How on earth do you expect me? It's a 7-digit number, remember. Quickly now, we have little time. God damn it, Shons. Wait. Wait, that's... Oh wait, it's not a 6, it's a 2 then. Because there's no 6 in here. Shons. So it's like 6, 2, no, 5, 2, 3. Oh, begin from the right. I guess that makes sense. But like, you need to flip it around, ¿sabes? O sea, hay que darle la vuelta, quiero decir. So if you flip it around, you need to begin from... Yeah, from the right. Begin from the right, so it's like 5, 2, 3, 1. 5, 2, 3, 1. Right? 5, 2, 3, 1. 0, 4, 5. 0, 4, 5. In other words, Jones, I think.
Take that!
Oh, that did it. It's open. You had to meddle, didn't you? Well, Eugene, you found me now. Seishiro. I was really hoping beyond hope not to find you here, you know. But you're not entirely unsurprised, I take it. No, quite. I just wish it were some other way. Well, are you ever going to introduce me? Ah, your reputation precedes you, Mr. Jones. I've read stories of many of your exploits. Excuse my manners, Jones. This is Mr. Jigoku, my old friend and traveling companion. The devil is in the details, Mikotoba. I believe you meant to say, your old friend and traveling companion, who made the cowardly decision to flee the country without a word to anyone when things turned sour. I see my reputation precedes me as well. What an honor. Well, Seishiro, are you going to explain all this? You know it all by now, I imagine. What you didn't know, of course, is that 3 days ago, on the night before our arrival in Britain, an attempt was made on my life here on this very ship. By the Reaper of the Valley? Yes, I've since heard. Because you were once prosecuted by the Reaper, weren't you? 10 years ago now, mind you. And I had no idea at the time what a dangerous individual he was. Anyway, when we arrived in London to find the symposium was postponed until goodness knows when, it became all too apparent to me that I might very well be targeted again. So you decided to flee the capital, without saying a word to me about it. I'm afraid so, yes. Of course, I realize now that I really ought to have confided in you. Someone surprising, I must say. What is? Well, first-class cabins aboard luxury steamships are in very short supply. It's more than a little hard to believe that this one just happened to be available. Though says the protagonist of some colorful short story. Well, I don't care for your opinion. The cabin did just happen to be available. Though I purchased a ticket, here I am. I have just seen for myself the obvious remnants of that incident in this cabin. So, you had already purchased your return ticket before we even docked in Dover, had you? To prevent anyone else from taking this cabin and seeing the evidence. Is that it? Eugene, I have nothing to say to you. Well, in a mere 5 minutes, this ship will set off on its onward voyage to not make port again until Italy. I'm afraid we must insist that you disembark with us at once. You have no jurisdiction over my movements. We have this, Seishiro. Take it. What is it? It's a subpoena from the Old Bailey. You're a man of the law. You know what the ramifications of ignoring a document like this from the British courts would be. You came prepared then, Eugene. Come on, let's go. One moment. What is it, Mr. Jones? Inside Mr. Jigoku's trunk, I found this rather fascinating trinket. Oh, it's from his clock. What is that? Seishiro. I can't help you, I'm afraid. Some small component from something. But what? I have no idea. By the look on his face, I think he genuinely doesn't know. Well, let us pocket it as a small souvenir of our brief sojourn in France. Small component has been entered into the court record. Mr. Naruhodo! Yeet! And he just throws it across the channel to us. Well, young Naruhodo, I think we have done as much as we can, I'm afraid. The rest will be on the shoulders of you and your assistant. 3rd of November, 12:10 p.m. The Old Bailey, courtroom. Kazuma Sogi, I know you, and I know you wouldn't lie. But still, there is no doubt that you're holding something back. You know more than you're saying. During the past 30 minutes while this court was adjourned, all possible efforts were expended. But sadly,
Mr. Jigoku's whereabouts could not be ascertained.
You must accept the unfortunate conclusion that the Reaper has already done the deed. There is no sense in wasting any more of the court's time. The prosecution calls for an immediate verdict.
Objection!
No, the trial cannot end now.
You're a Japanese man, Ryunosuke. You should know when to lay down your sword.
And you should know never to presume when the battle is won.
The court has already been presented with all the evidence and heard all relevant testimony. There can only be one conclusion: that the accused is guilty.
All relevant testimony? Far from it. There is still a crucial witness, from whom the court is yet to hear a single word of testimony. In that case, call your witness to the stand at once, counsel. Yes, my lord. Tomorrow, if possible.
The witness is already on his way and scheduled to arrive tomorrow.
Who on earth is this crucial witness?
Are we going for a third Dale? Seishiro Jigoku, the very man allegedly murdered by the Reaper.
Judge Jigoku? You found him?
But investigations of every policing resource in the capital suggest that Jigoku is already dead.
How in the name of God did you find the man?
He was located in France during the recess, the port of Dunkirk, thanks to one Mr. Sherlock Holmes' famous deductions.
Sherlock Holmes.
Inspector Gregson almost certainly met with Mr. Jigoku on the night of his death, because, along with Prosecutor Asogi, Gregson was on a mission to assassinate the man. Which means that Seishiro Jigoku is the sole witness who can clarify exactly what happened aboard the SS Grouse on the 31st of October.
Well, it would appear that it's too soon to move the education at this point. Prosecution concurs. Court must hear Mr. Jigoku's testimony. No judgment should be passed until all testimony has been considered. In that case, I hereby call the end of today's proceedings. Court will reconvene at the same hour tomorrow. No objections from either side?
No, my lord.
No objections, my lord.
We live to fight another day. By the skin of our teeth. To be continued. And this is where we leave it here for tonight. Holy fucking shit. What a case. What a case. What a case. What a case. Alright. Now then, let us go. And leave this place once and for all. Thank you everyone for being here. It's been a fantastic stream. It's been very fun. I am having the time of my life with this game. I am very much enjoying everything in general about this. I hope that you all are having fun hearing me go fucking crazy over this. And I will be leaving you all for tonight. I will be back next week to continue the resolve of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Until then, see you and have a good night. Yep, oh god, we're about to finish the game. I can't fucking believe it either. As always, the VOD will be uploaded tomorrow, and you can check it out at the channel, at the bot channel, which I'm going to actually promote here at the end, right before we finish. Because I feel like that's something that not many people know about. I literally left to do my Duolingo. Alright. And I come back. And it's over. No hemos terminado el juego. No hemos terminado el juego, no te preocupes. Hemos hecho una pequeña pausa porque al día siguiente va a venir Jigoku a testificar. Eso es todo. Alright. But, everyone... Okay, you know. Okay. Everyone, goodbye, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.